does. But at the same time,
the home stretch, baby, the home stretch.
Yeah, I mean, this is really like a potential,
championship matchup.
championship
yeah,
matchup. I mean,
hell
it really
yeah,
is.
it is. Hell yeah, it is.
Epsilon and Complexity. This is no joke right here.
No.
So this is one of those games that you probably want to watch if you're into competitive Call of Duty.
Yep. And the teams just finished warming up. They're going to be going over and setting up their classes. Game number 1 is going to be Hardpoint on Yemen. We'll play S&D on Raid. We've got Standoff, Capture the Flag. We'll go back to Hardpoint for Yemen again. So we will be playing Yemen
That's
Hardpoint.
not right.
That's not right?
That's not right.
All right. Well, I'm going to fire whoever wrote this down right here.
He doesn't make the decisions.
No.
That's okay.
But I do.
He'll get a little angry.
Show yourself.
At somebody.
Yeah.
But
somebody's going to get yelled at. So I'm assuming we actually will probably play it on Raid.
who wrote down the wrong hard points here? Seriously.
This is amateur hour.
Are you kidding me?
I imagine
Everybody looked at me like I'm serious. I'm just completely kidding.
I'm not.
Just
I'm
kidding.
not.
Just
No, I'm
kidding.
not joking. So I imagine we'll play Raid again here for, and then S&D Express for game number 5. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm not sure if that's really the lineup.
Seriously, this is like it's a Dutch production company that we haven't worked with before.
Right.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
First of all, Chaos TV.
Other than when they put the wrong lower third of my name up, but we'll, again,
And
forgivable
they all
offense.
just like looked at me like.
Yeah, you made
they,
them
like-
very scared.
Yeah. Well, all right. They can take a joke though. I think they can.
All right.
Probably hurt our producer Chris's ear too.
Yeah, and that's okay. Guys, we're bringing in the excitement. What's up to all the people that are in North America that are watching us now? We're closing it out here again. This is the last match of the night, and we're going to kick off game number 1, the last match of all the groups here. This group in particular, Bravo Group B, Epsilon versus Complexity, and we're going to jump on board in the eyes of Clayster here and take it away.
All right, so Complexity's Clayster right off the bat tosses out that trophy system. It's pretty typical. We see Clayster doing that and immediately gets 50 points up on the board for those grenades that hit his trophy. So Epsilon with Swanee taking out Crimsix on the hard point. Epsilon with an early lead, getting a little bit of control of that hard point. Clayster picking up the kill onto Swanee. I like this Complexity play here, not jumping onto it too prematurely. They're just making sure that they pick up enough kills to clean Epsilon off. But there you see in the feed, Epsilon with 3 more kills right consecutively in that feed. So they're going to have a little bit of control now, and they have spawns controlled in the top area of Treehouse. So you see there in yellow on your mini-map, and you're going to have Complexity in green.
And it's going to be Epsilon that was first movers into that hard point. However, Complexity able to take it over. 13 seconds left in the hard point in the eyes of Shane as he gets taken out. We're going to switch on board here with Crimsix. He too gets knocked out, and it's going to be TP, the objective player for Complexity, racking up the remaining time in this hard point as the rotations are set. And it's going to be, I believe, Epsilon that's pretty well established here in the next hard point.
Yep, so Gunshi inside that hard point. We're going to switch over to him. Epsilon with that early control. You see 2 Complexity players spawning down low, and there you're going to see Gunshi picking up the kill there. Big feed for Epsilon. All 4 players for Complexity going down. Now, you see Epsilon trying to figure out where they're spawning, and quickly Gunshi calls that out, and all the Epsilon players turn their attention to the bottom of this hardpoint spawn, and Gunshi still racking up time here for this Epsilon squad.
Gunshi just beasting it up. Oh, my goodness. Gunshi with the 2-piece. Going to earn himself the Hellstorm and Lightning Strike. He's not done yet, and he's 1 away from a War Machine as he's held down this hard point the entire time so far. Going to get out of there from that nade damage. Pretty good spot he's in right now. Shane's taking out Aches, and Jert takes out TP. So the boys of Epsilon looking very strong here in this first game.
Yep, now Gunshi jumps out of that last hard point. We're going to switch on board with Swanee, another amazing AR here for Epsilon. They have Gunshi and Swanee, who are just known for having those amazing ARs. Shane, known for his great objective work, and Jur, just known for his shot in
just
general.
For being
the guy's
awesome.
just a monster, arguably one of Europe's finest shots. So here we go on board with Swanee. Now the lead is 60 points plus, now 70 points plus for Epsilon. Finally, Complexity manages to break it, but Jerd comes right in with the B-23R and takes Complexity back out. So Complexity on their heels here, arguably, again, one of the best North American teams. Top 2 have been performing very very well this whole
Absolutely.
season, and now Jerd is just kind of making them look stupid,
Yeah.
picking up all of his score streaks, and they built almost a 100-point lead here, Fwiz. Are we really seeing this right?
I know. You know, it was something about Complexity at some point today where they kind of weren't playing, and I even talked to him after the game. Like, Killerfish was actually given a run for their money in some of these games, and again, Killerfish took a game off of them. And it just, when I was watching Complexity, they just weren't playing and working together as a unit as we usually see them. So I don't know if there's a little bit of complacency right now that's happened since they know they've got it locked up in the group. But, I mean, this is a brutal beating.
And
I mean, there's nothing close about this. Can I look at the scoreboard real quick?
Yeah, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Here you see
that's brutal.
12 and 3 for Jerd, 12 and 5
So
for Swanee.
Complexity has 19 total kills. Jerd and Swanee alone have 26, to just give you an idea.
Yeah, score streaks abound for Epsilon.
Everybody's
as well.
got 'em.
Everybody's getting in on this party right now. Swanee just doesn't even need an SMG or an assault rifle. He's got his B-23R, and that's pretty much 138-point lead right now for Epsilon, and they look to be making a little bit of a rotation already. Gunshi making a rotation to this next hard point. They've got about 15 seconds left on the last one, and they're going to be looking to already set up this next hard point up top here in open. So look at Shane. He's in that last hard point. Like I said, plays the objective very, very well for Epsilon. Here come the score streaks. Jerd picking up 2 with the Hellstorm, and oh my god, don't do it. I couldn't manage to pick up that kill, but still, Epsilon with great control of this hard point already. You see Complexity starting to challenge. Let's jump on board with TP and see if they can break.
And on board here with Crim6 as we switch over to TP and see what he's able to do for his team. Again, Epsilon just dominating now, and since all of them have score streaks too, it just gets even more brutal for them to even try to do anything about it. Clayster just killed himself with a Semtex. I mean, this is brutal. I mean,
I think Clayster actually just fell off the map, and I don't even know if he might have done that on purpose.
Yeah,
just because
of how bad this beating is.
I mean, he might have just.
This is a good old Midwestern beating right here. This is just they've got the
oh my goodness, Jerd is just a monster right now.
Steel-toe boots running a score streak train all over Complexity. Yeah, I mean, this is a brutal.
Non-stop war machine coming out. Look at this. Don't do it, Jerd. Do not do it. But that's still so nasty.
Looks like a league play
Epsilon looking really
kids.
solid at the moment. So 217 to 26. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know Complexity does not want to start off this way. This is not the Complexity team that we're used to seeing. And right now, Clayster and Aches are doing work in that feed. So finally, we see a little bit of life out of Complexity. We're on board with Crim6. So we're back to the original hard point. Hard point number 1 here on Yemen. And Complexity finally claw their way back into this. Down by 200 points. Insane.
Yeah, they better put some points on the board, because the last thing they want to be a part of is like the 50-point club or something like that.
Yeah. You do not want to get 50-point clubbed at all at a major tournament. That's just, it's a bit embarrassing. But you know what? Every team has the rough maps every now and then, so I'm just going to go ahead and point that out. It's not always, a good.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a good analogy here.
And it's probably not inappropriate anyway. But yeah.
I was probably going to say something. I tend to do that.
And that's okay, because you're a human being. But Complexity's had a couple bad games now, because they, again, going back to the Killer Fish match, there were some ugly maps there that they played in. At least they're able to put some, save face by putting some points on the board. I mean, they don't want to be a part of the under 100 here. I mean, that's not something that can happen here. So Crim6 trying to do something for his team here. He's finally turned it up. He's got all his score streaks as well and hits 5 consecutive kills. He's going to let that lightning strike rip, and they are going to hold down some quality time in this hard point, as Epsilon having trouble to close it out here, as Complexity finally turning it up a notch.
What if?
No.
What if?
No.
Yeah, what if we saw Complexity come back on this map? 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. They were down by 200 points at one point. Epsilon now finally starting to get into it. They actually relinquished probably all this time here in the treehouse, but Gunshi already on the rotation. However, Complexity is as well. You have, let's see who this is. That is going to be TP up top, but he goes down. That's not where Complexity wants to be now. Epsilon surely can close this out where they are located on the map. But here comes, I believe that's a Crim6 Hellstorm. Yes, it is. Taking out Jerd. That's certainly going to help Complexity's chances here, but they really have to get in that hard point quickly. And look at this play by Epsilon. I actually like that. I believe that was, I'm not sure who that was going down for Epsilon right there, but he made the smart play of not even going for the hard point. He was just trying to hold Complexity off from getting into it, which is the right play.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was Complexity, I would have stayed in that hard point for the remaining 6 seconds, so I wouldn't be part of the under 100 club. And because that's what's going to happen here as Shane's going to try to close this one out. Complexity making one last push, and that was it. All the other players too far away there. That's going to be the end of the game. And 250 to 96 in favor of Complexity. Nobody saw that coming.
I think you mean Epsilon, but it's okay.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Complexity,
Well,
but
sure as hell wasn't Complexity. Epsilon, yeah.
Complexity just really had a lot of trouble in the early game in this matchup. Epsilon, again, they are very strong, very
That's
strong.
a really good assembled squad there. You know, I mean, they really put together like
and they have
great
experience
team.
with each other. Swanee, Shane, Gunshi, they're all
play
very
together in
familiar
different
with
teams
playing
and
together.
stuff.
And then Jerd, you just add that monster into that mix, into that veteran squad, and you know, he's like the young talent, young gun with the reflexes and the amazing shot.
And as a player, it's perfect to surround yourself with players like Shane, Gunshi, and Swanee that are well-traveled land players. They've played in a lot of different Call of Duty games. Like, they've got the experience, and that's exactly Jerd putting himself on that squad.
There's something wrong with Complexity right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They have to get an assessment, you know, in between this round and the next. You have Mr. X, their coach, there to help him out, but what we're going to do is going to take a quick break before we play map number 2. It is going to be a raid S&D, I believe.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Epsilon.
Welcome back to Gfinity here. I'm Fwiz alongside Astro, and without further ado, we are going to jump into game number 2. Game number 1 was pretty dominant performance by Epsilon. Now going into game number 2 here on Search and Destroy here on Raid. We're going to jump in the eyes of Gunshi for the Epsilon squad to see if they can pull something out here in the first round of SND.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to go back over to the Complexity side there on the offensive round here in this first side of Search and Destroy on Raid. And, you know, that first map was all Epsilon, Fwiz. I can't believe that Complexity allowed Epsilon to build such a huge lead like that, but at the same time, Epsilon was just clicking on all cylinders, and here they are in this S&D. It's now a 2 versus 3 situation. Complexity with the man advantage, so Gunshi and Jerd trying to take down TP here, who has the bomb. So it looks like Complexity is trying to make this B push. 28 seconds left to go. TP really has to get this bomb down, and he certainly is going for that right now, but look out. You have one of the Epsilon players. It's going to be Jerd taking out TP. Huge kill by him. And Complexity is really going to have to go for that bomb pretty quickly.
And now Aches trying to get that bomb down. 11 seconds left on the clock. He will be able to do so as Crimsix was able to take out Jerd, who was trying to get some shots in on Aches. And now it's going to be Crimsix and Aches against Gunshi, who's all alone for the Epsilon squad. And he's got to get some shots downrange to see if he can pick somebody up. Someone up to his right there, not able to connect. And Crimsix with the round-ending kill cam here as he's able to take out Gunshi.
Yeah, Crimsix is the hero right there for Complexity. He covered Aches. Aches was taking so much fire right there on that bomb zone. Great plays by Epsilon. I really like the way they played that, but Crimsix came up big, covered Aches. He got that bomb down, and Gunshi was left in that 1v2. So Complexity coming out from the break looking a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and they needed that, I mean, for a lot of reasons. So they're able to pick up a round win there, and we're going to switch sides.
Yep, and so Complexity now with that 1-0 advantage. And looks like we might have had the client freeze. So let's see. We might have to try and get ourselves back into this game. Looks like our Xbox is frozen, actually. So, Fwiz, you and I are going to cut the Xbox off. We're going to cut it right back on and try to get ourselves back into this round. But hopefully the players are still playing it out. But regardless, it's a 1-0 lead, and we were in between S&D rounds. So, nice and easy to get back in. Not a problem. But there you go on your screen. Those are the boys from Complexity. And I can't tell if they're still in the middle of a round or not.
It looks, judging by Clayster's face, that they definitely are.
They are. So they are definitely still playing this round at the moment. And we're just trying to get ourselves back into the game. So it looks like Complexity still have their wits about them, even after taking a defeat in that hard point by so much.
I'm guessing... That was a clutch play right there by Complexity.
All right, yeah, so we do have a little feed now. Aches Diffuses the bomb there. It's going to be Complexity going up 2-0. We're still trying to bring you right back into the game, but thankful for our cameraman out there on the floor. Now Fwiz and I are able to kind of see this match.
Any way possible.
There's your final kill cam in the round. That's going to be Aches picking up the kill there in the ring. So Complexity with the 2-0 lead here in this raid search and destroy. And we're a little bit closer to getting in, Fwiz.
One step closer here. We're going to jump in the eyes of.
We're only going to be in the eyes of Complexity at this point, because that's where the cameraman is.
That is where he's at.
All right, Fwiz, we're back. It's Complexity versus Epsilon. Complexity now. You know, they've managed to win that S&D, so it's 1-1 in the series.
Yep.
We're going to jump right into the CTF.
Yeah,
It's
we're
going to
in
be a
game.
CTF.
Let's do it.
It's going to be a CTF on standoff. TP now has just pulled the flag. He's trying to get away there, and Shane shuts him down. So Epsilon looked really strong in that run and gun game type. Search and Destroy came down to a 6-5 decision in favor of Complexity. So, like we said, Complexity managing to pick up that S&D map, and now it's up to Epsilon to try and regain the lead in this series as it's all knotted up.
And if you're just tuning in, it's 1-1 in the series. Complexity Epsilon here in game number 3.
So here we go, Shane on your screen. There's a 4-kill spree there for Jerd, and it looks like Epsilon's putting a lot of pressure on the Complexity at the moment. Jerd is EMP'd at the moment, so we can't see how close he is to those score streaks, but he's absolutely got to be getting pretty close. Flag has been pulled by TP, however. Look at this flag pull by TP. Very, very aggressive pull, and look at that. Great anticipation by TP, shuts down Jerd. There's one more player in yellow. The Complexity players take care of him. Can TP jump this flag in? Yes, he can. He does manage to get that cap. Gunchy's pulling that flag from Complexity now, and let's see if he can actually get away. Oh man, both these teams are doing crazy things at the moment. TP managed to do what Gunchy did just now, and look at that flag run by Gunchy, Fwiz.
Yeah, absolute monster there. Able to pull it out. Answer after Complexity just put one on the board. So great play by Epsilon.
And look at Shane. Shane thought he had a smoke grenade, but it was an EMP. So he EMPs himself, and that's going to hurt him. But look at this. Epsilon still set up to try and get this flag cap. Complexity challenging from the statue. Gunchy is going to have to try and pick up this kill. Flag is in a very vulnerable position. And let's see what Gunchy can do to try and secure that flag cap. Actually, Epsilon has done that now. So that is a flag on the board. Who managed to put that in for Epsilon? It was Shane. It was Swanee who put that in. Swanee's sitting at 2-1, so he's playing pretty passive this round. But nonetheless, Epsilon gets that capture. It is 1-1 here on standoff.
And on board with Jerd here as he's going to get a nice kill taking out TP. And just going to move up here, just playing it nice. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Swanee needs to maybe play a little bit more aggressive. And Jerd trying to get some shots out, gets taken out by Crimsix.
But Swanee's last alive. He's in box corner. He's got a 3-kill spree going. He's near a Hellstorm missile. He's really going to have to do a solid job of picking up this next kill. You definitely want to grab that streak before anything right now. And that's, I think, exactly what Swanee's doing. He's being very passive. Knows there's a player down below him. That is the flag. That is the flag carrier that he's shooting at. Doesn't manage to pick up the kill. Is that flag going to get away? Complexity picking up a heap of kills there in that Epsilon spawn, and Swanee finally goes down, so he doesn't get the streaks. However, the flag is safely back at that Epsilon base. Last player for Complexity is in red, and then you have 2 now challenging statues. So Complexity still keeping the pressure alive on that Epsilon spawn.
On board with Gunchy here, and let's see what he's able to do. Gunchy, obviously, an incredibly talented player out of Europe. And Claser's going to get a nice kill on Jerd. Gunchy gets taken out as Claser picks up another one.
Yeah, now you have 3 Complexity players here in this Epsilon spawn. There's the flag pull by Complexity. It's going to be in the hands of Aches. Flag is away. There is a player already cutting off the back alley. It's TP. Huge kill by TP right there. And it looks like Complexity is going to safely secure this one unless somebody from Epsilon goes huge. They're actually going for the relay. Crimsix set up to pull that flag yet again. Look at this. Picking up the kill there on Gunchy. They had no idea Crimsix was still in their spawn, but he does go down. So Complexity now builds a lead, 2-1. In favor of Complexity over Epsilon at the moment here on standoff capture the flag.
And if Complexity wins this one, then you know you're going to a Game 5 because of how poorly Complexity played that hard point against Epsilon. I mean, Epsilon was on top of that. I mean, so it's interesting matchup here. If you're Epsilon, you don't want to let one of these get away from you. Yeah,
you certainly don't want to lose the CTF if you're Complexity. I mean, that hard point was very convincing. It looks like Epsilon has their hard point game on lockdown.
Exactly.
Crimsix now with a Hellstorm and a Lightning Strike available. Fwiz, what do you think Crimsix is going to do with that Lightning Strike and Hellstorm? They have a 2-1 lead.
I mean, probably let it rip there at the end of the game. 2-1 lead. I think you just hold on to it right now. No need to use it. Nobody's got anything out. So might as well use it as a flag stopper towards the end of the game.
All right, 15 seconds left to go here in round number 1. Looks like we're going to have kind of a stalemate there. Nothing going. Swanee nearing his score streak, so heading into round number 2 of this CTF and a 5-kill spree. So maybe that'll be a crucial play out of Epsilon if they can manage to get those streaks. So Complexity,
2-1.
again, 2-1. Here's your rounding and kill cam. It's going to be TP with the MSMC.
TP's been playing great today. Definitely has contributed to the reason why they're here right now.
Yeah, and both of these teams, again, 2-0 coming into this matchup. And this is a matchup for the number 1, number 2 seed decision. The winner will obviously have the number 1 seed heading into Championship Sunday tomorrow, where we're going to have our 8-team single elimination bracket.
Absolutely.
Now we're on board with Aches for Complexity. He is actually nearing score streaks as well. And Swanee's coming around the corner here with Jerd. Jerd's baiting out right now for Epsilon. Swanee needing that 1 kill again just for those streaks. So let's see if he can actually pull this off. Shooting at a player top green right now. Gets lots of shots into him. Swanee's got to be very careful right here, and he does back off. So nothing too aggressive. Shane, in the meantime, is making a push.
By Shane.
Oh, he manages to get away right there. Gunshy's with him. They are looking for that Complexity player who's inside the convenience store here. So Shane gets away here with his teammate Gunshy. Here comes the Hellstorm in from Crim6. Is that going to connect? Yes, it does. Flag carrier down for Epsilon. Shane gets taken out in the back. Jerd, in the meantime, picking up a kill here. He's still defending this flag. Looking for that Complexity player. Manages to get it away. He is getting chased, however. Swanee picking up the kill there to cover his back. And it looks like Epsilon is going to put this flag in. Did Swanee manage to get those streaks?
They Complexity almost got a return there. Jerd was able to stop the Complexity player going in for the return, and then he gets the cap. Love what Jerd did there. Although the Dolphin dive
and Aches did manage to get a Hellstorm. I'm not sure about Swanee. He's still EMP'd at the moment. He literally was EMP'd, died, spawned again, and got EMP'd again. So we're going to have to check back up on Swanee here in a second.
He's not having one of the best rounds right now.
Nope, 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, and we have a 2-2 score tied up here on this standoff CTF. Epsilon is now backed off into their own spawn. You have a player being very sneaky here for Complexity. It's TP, just trying to stay alive. Look at that. Saw 2 players middle street. He's going to call him out. He's going to pick these players off on the spawn. Very intelligent play there by TP, and now he's going to get swarmed on. Now you see Shane, Gunshy, and Jerd all on kill sprees for Team Epsilon, and they are looking to get over into that Complexity spawn and try and, I don't know, cause a little disruption. Maybe try and get that flag out. And there you see Shane picking up the kill there in the courtyard. So we're getting a little closer, but it's kind of a methodical push here by Epsilon. You see Jerd wrapping around. Let's pull up the scoreboard.
Let's check it out. Yeah, Swanee. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's just been playing slow and passive, more on the defensive side of things. Aches struggling in the negative here at 7-11.
Yeah, and so here we go. 2 players down for Complexity. We're on board with TP now as he's actually making a push for the Epsilon flag. So it seems like the battle has been going down here in the middle of the map pretty consistently for the past 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go, and Complexity still wanting that blood. I mean, you can see them. They're really kind of pushing that flag. On the other side, Epsilon's really not being very aggressive. They're kind of playing the more passive role at the moment. However, one player is starting to make a move, and it is Shane. Shane pretty much has a free pass right now to the Complexity flag. So Shane is going to be setting up for a flag pull, waiting for his teammates to pick up a couple kills before he manages to pull that flag away. But there is one player hunting him down up in the top convenience store, and Shane's now got to stay alive. Complexity managing to take out a couple Epsilon players. Clayster turns the corner here, takes out Gunshy. Is he going to go for that flag pull? No, he does not. And as you see, a couple Complexity players actually rotated back to their flag. So neither team wanting to give up this flag cap.
Yeah, and I think it was actually it was Shane that was all the way back. He was at Complexity's flag and doubled back just to make sure that they didn't lose it. And both teams, this is pretty much a stalemate now between the 2 squads.
Yeah, they're playing very protective, defensive Call of Duty at the moment, and you know I can't blame them. This is a big matchup. So Gunshy now wrapping around. He's actually starting to get a little aggressive. All of Epsilon actually did start pushing up the map. They're on spawn now. Now you see Complexity on the mini map. You see them pushing up. All of them, and Gunshy manages to get by. So let's see if Gunshy actually manages to get a pull here. Complexity actually pulls the flag. Jerd shuts down TP, who just pulled. Now Gunshy's going for that counter pull. Complexity completely out of position right now to stop Gunshy, except for Clayster, who's set up here in the back alley. He does manage to pull that stop off. Hellstorm comes out for Complexity. It doesn't pick up anybody there. Flag was pulled there by Shane again, and TP closes it out. So nothing going right there for Complexity or Epsilon.
There's a flag pull, though, by Aches, and he's actually got some help around him. And he's going to run
he actually had no help.
Yeah,
I think he had one teammate who went down pretty early right before he pulled. So that's not going to do anything. 23 seconds left to go, and Epsilon is going for it. Look at Jerd Jared's making the push. He's trying to get this flagpole, and he does manage to get it out. He knows he doesn't really have much time to do anything except run. He does manage to get it to red. He's going through the middle of the map. This would be amazing if Epsilon could actually pull this off, but no. Lightning Strike comes in. The good thing about that, though, Fwiz, is that they managed to make Complexity use a score streak at the end of that round, which is a huge thing.
Yep, especially a Hellstorm, and that's a showstopper in CTF.
I say huge a lot, don't I?
Yeah, that's okay, man.
I think we both say things a lot. Somebody tweeted at me earlier and said that they can make a drinking game.
Yeah,
watching us. If I say every time I say huge, they take a shot.
There's a ton of things I say all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's true. As a caster, we talk a lot, and it's very tough to come up with original content.
Man. When I think about the words per minute that have to come out of our mouths.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the WPMs are real, dude.
If Korea.
They're huge, man.
Yeah. Korea. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Korean WPMs, man. That's what I got coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, those KWPMs.
So here we go, back on board with Complexity. It's going to be TP. TP's pushing up for this flag pretty aggressively. Picks up the kill there on Jared. Throws down the smoke. Spots one player down the bottom. Convenient. He can't get that flag away. So now you see Gunshi rotating back to his flag. And he's going to just try and play a little defense here. So still just kind of a battle of the Titans in this matchup right now. Both teams playing pretty defensive, not really wanting to let that flag get too far away from their base.
On board here with Jared, picks up a nice kill on TP, going to move in for that flag. Picks up a nice kill yet again, so he's just playing good defense on the flag, stopping all these Complexity players from moving in here. You gotta like what Jared's doing there. Picked up the double kill on the defensive side of things. As we're going to switch over on board with Shane, picking up a nice kill, taking out Aches. And Epsilon trying to make something happen here in overtime. Both of these teams, though, playing so passive.
Yeah, I mean, Complexity's actually putting a lot of pressure right here onto Epsilon, but at the same time, you have some, look at this for Complexity. You have like Clayster and Aches kind of sitting back waiting for their team to spawn, so, they're not making too much progression up the map. And you see you have Crimsix just waiting in here for his teammates. And I have to say this is a very smart play. Now Complexity's getting very aggressive. All 4 players pushed up past middle map onto the Epsilon spawn. I would expect Complexity to pull a flag pretty quickly here, and they do get it away. It's going to be TP running that flag for Complexity. He's trying to just stay alive and top convenient. I think he just juked out Epsilon in a big way. Oh my goodness, if TP would have gotten that kill, that would have been surely a Complexity cap, but Epsilon gets the return. 3 minutes left to go here in this first overtime.
And on board with TP here, going to get a nice kill, taking out Gunshi. And back and forth, these two teams have gone, and it looks like Complexity is going to make another push here. Epsilon has not moved from their base. They have stayed on top of their flag, literally on top of it, and just have not made any advancement towards the Complexity flag, which leads me to think that Complexity is going to break this line and actually do something.
Yeah, now TP's going to go down here trying to pick off Jared, but Jared gets the better of that gun battle, has the B-23R out, getting a reload on that M8. Jared's pushing through Playground now with Epsilon. So right when you say that, Epsilon was backed off the whole game.
Yeah.
Finally, they get out of their spawn. So, Fwiz, maybe you should go back to coaching.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. Epsilon making the move. That is going to be a free pass. All members down for Complexity. Jared on the 5-kill spree. Going to look to try and get the cutoffs here for his team. Watching front yellow, but all of Complexity is rotating around the back. There is one player there for Epsilon getting that cutoff. It's going to be Gunshi. Gunshi picking up a huge 2-piece right there, and that's going to be Epsilon capping the flag on Complexity. Probably about 3 minutes, about 2.5 minutes maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I don't know, but it was, 2-3 minutes. It was definitely a little bit into that game, but gosh, Gunshi, man, look at him.
He just ate that grenade with his flak jacket.
He did.
Took care of business and allowed his flag carrier to put that flag in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So Complexity, definitely doable.
Yeah, definitely doable.
Yeah, if you're Complexity right now, you just want to put a lot of pressure on Epsilon, try to get that flag away. Let's see how they decide to handle it here. All right, we're on board with Crimsix for Complexity. He's got the M8 out. A little surprising that he's actually pulling out an AR. Picks up a nice Semtex kill right there onto Shane. Trying to get a little bit of his health back before he pops back up. Firing some nice shots here into the playground, but it's just not enough. But look at Epsilon. You have Shane backed off on their flag, making sure that none of those Complexity players can sneak in. So there you go. Farthest player up for Complexity now is Aches. We're going to jump on board with him and see what he can do, Fwiz.
On board here with Aches, and let's see What's going to happen? Clayster is down for him. Jerd's got 4 consecutive kills. Ake's playing, just waiting for his teammates to get up. They've got to make every push calculated moves here. Everything's got to count here for him. And Ake's picks up a nice kill, takes out Shane. And now the squad's starting to move in. TP right in front of him as they're getting ready to make a push on the flag. Great kill by Ake's, taking out Jerd. And just continuing that. That's 3 down, so they're going to go for a pull there. But Shane able to make a stop. And then Ake's takes out Shane, but were they able to pull that flag?
Now they have the flag away. Finally, Clayster's got the flag in his hands. All players down for Epsilon. Here we go, Fwiz. No, there's going to be a huge gun battle going down now. All of Epsilon spawning in the back alley. It's going to be up to Shane to get the stop.
Close.
And here we go. Shane not able to do it. Complexity puts it away, and they're going to take map number 3, the CTF on standoff. And there you go. Complexity taking the 2-1 series lead.
And just the street there, man. It was the street meet right there. Last push, those 2 guys. TP comes up, and then Aches was on the flank. That was a great job by them to get that flag in there. So Complexity does it in 121.
Yep.
So after a slow start, they've turned it around here, and they're up now 2-1 in the series.
That's exactly right. We're going to be headed to a search and destroy. No, sorry, a hard point next.
Hard point, and that was brutal last time.
It was very embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean,
for Complexity, but at the same time, they're up 2-1 in the series now.
Yeah,
so proving that you know, they just had a bad round.
Yeah, they might be able to turn it around here. I think. I don't know what it's going to be on. Remember, we had the whole debacle around game number 4. What hard point it on? I'm assuming it's actually on Raid since we already played hard point Yemen, but we'll find out here. Could be on standoff or slums. So it's going to be on slums. All right, so slums hard point game number 4. We're going to kick it off as soon as Shane's ready to roll.
Yep, players are going to switch up their classes a little bit. You know, in between game, that's usually typically what we see.
Yeah. Got to.
Little bit of a switcheroo.
So just coming off like a CTF or something like that, you got to make the changes.
Completely different classes get played between capture the flag and hardpoint. Fwiz, what are some of the things that you usually see in hardpoint?
In hardpoint?
Yeah,
I thought we were talking about tac mask and stuff. Yeah, hardpoint, you know, these boys will definitely have some lightweight going on, moving around in the rotations.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also notice you see a lot more trophy systems in hardpoint just because, you know, if you're getting control of a hardpoint, that's basically you're giving away your position.
It can get so brutal with nades and some of the hardpoints on slums too.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like junkyard, people just start throwing nades in there. The garage as well. So yeah, I mean it's good. Trophy systems are
they're really crucial on slums. So I'm sure there's some trophy systems being thrown into the classes right now. You know, there are a couple different strategies too here on slums that you can use to maintain control of those hard points. Not just trophy systems, but you know, some players have elected to. I've seen to use like the FMJ attachment on certain hard points here, like especially the garage. You can fire through.
You can bang
the walls,
right through that
of the garage, and it's it's pretty brutal.
There's not a lot of places to hide in there
when that's going on. So, yep, okay, we're switching rounds. Are we gonna take a little break?
No idea.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back as these players are setting up those classes. Just don't go anywhere.
I'm sure we can just probably bring it in now.
Aches isn't ready yet. Just wait for it.
It does help having an admin, though, doesn't it?
All right, game starting.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to G2 in London. Gfinity's great event here on your screen is Complexity. And Complexity has managed to take a 2-1 series lead over Epsilon after they got absolutely drummed in the first map, which was Hardpoint. We're jumping into a Hardpoint now on Slums. Let's see if Complexity can actually come back and show that they weren't that shabby in Hardpoint.
Yeah, I was at a loss of words when I saw that game between Epsilon and Complexity in the first game. I mean, Complexity just got absolutely decimated here, and you got to wonder, wow. Clayster, I don't know what he just did. A lot of things right there.
I think he picked up a two-piece.
He picked up a two-piece.
He picked up a two-piece on Epsilon and a two-piece on their trophy systems, and now he's still alive inside the bricks. Look at that, picking up the 200 score, getting the points from his own trophy systems now. This is like utility Clayster for Complexity at the moment. He's very close to getting his score streaks already.
Yeah, that trophy system, man. They're just throwing 25 points at him every single time. That was crazy how he just started off there. I'm pretty sure he only has like 1 kill.
Yeah, now you see Crimsix trying to bait for him, and it's not really working too well. Complexity, however, hasn't given up too much time. It looks like Clayster has spotted a player, but no, it's going to be Shane coming in and shutting him down. Big kills by Shane, and now look at this. Complexity all set up on the bottom hard point. We're going to switch back over to them. It's about to rotate in 2 seconds, and it looks like Complexity is going to have that advantageous spawn.
Yep, absolutely. So Epsilon looking good. Aswani is able to get a kill, 24-22, as Complexity's taking the lead, holding down that hard point. Clayster not able to get the score streak, so he's going to sit back here and just hold his position, make sure they get the favorable spawns, and hold that hard point as long as they possibly can here. Clayster almost picks up another kill there. Woo! That finally does and takes out Gunchi.
Oh, man, Gunchi just got real confused right there, but you know, we have Aches on a 4-kill spree. He's pushed up in blue, and he's doing a great job of locking that down for Complexity at the moment. This is a great position to be in. And look at this, Epsilon already giving up that spawn. So they're actually trying to rotate already, and this is very bad news for Epsilon. Complexity has them with their backs against the wall, essentially, and now Complexity can actually even go ahead and start trying to break this area, and if they manage to do that and get Epsilon spawning across the map, it could be a runaway like what we saw, just the opposite with Complexity.
Complexity needs to do that, though, for a lot of reasons. I mean, I think that was – they had to have been embarrassed with how they played in game number 1. I think they want to come out with a lot more confidence. They want to close it out. It's the last game of the night. They want to take that number 1 seed home. It's the last match of the night. You know, I think that means a lot to take that number 1 seed and put them in a more favorable spot tomorrow. And now that they're 2-1, it seems a little more realistic. When they had gotten beat so bad in game number 1, you had to wonder what they were even thinking after a match like that.
Yeah, well, now you have Epsilon maintaining great control here, and they are actually starting to take the lead over, or sorry, not take the lead, but they're coming back.
They will, though, if they can hold it, because then you get this part of Slums is dangerous, because if you can hold this spawn, you take Junkyard here for, gosh, a majority of the 60 points, and you switch over to Garage and can take that for a majority of the points. So it's just very dangerous when you're not able to hold this side of the map down.
Yeah, and here comes a lead change as Epsilon has managed to come all the way back from being down, and now it actually is tied up. So Epsilon going to try and maintain the spawn still. Complexity, however, does beat them to the Garage. As long as Epsilon doesn't spawn across the map right here, they're going to be in great shape, Fwiz. So right now, it's up to them to just pick up a couple kills on the Complexity players, because they will spawn like bricks or in the cafe. And right now, Complexity is getting that cafe spawn, but Complexity still having a very tough time actually getting inside the Garage. It's going to be Aches for Complexity defending it at the moment, and he's doing a great job staying alive.
Yeah, those spawns are so brutal. I mean, even if you hold the Garage down and you're coming from that side, finally they switched them, so Complexity does have the good spawns, and they've got Garage control. 22 seconds left on the board. This is exactly what Complexity needed. They couldn't afford to just keep getting beat down like that. So they got the spawns. They're going to hold down the remainder of this Garage time, and you're just going to see Epsilon start to set up on the middle hard point.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody for Complexity has streaks yet. It does not appear to be so. And nobody over on the Epsilon side has streaks either.
Aches is working on it.
We're going to see some gun battles going down here in this middle hard point. Yeah, Aches definitely is getting close to his streaks. And you see what he's doing right here. He's not actually pushing up the map very far. He's waiting for his teammates to make the first move, but now they're actually relinquishing a lot of points to Epsilon as Aches is just kind of camping for those streaks. So it's either make a move and try and get him that way, or kind of play passively and give the other team quite a few points. But Aches now trying to get the hard point score here. Can he pick up the kill to get the streaks? And no, he doesn't. Man. He gets shut down. Gets a little impatient there, Fwiz.
That's what happened to Clayster, too, and then he ended up getting flanked. They got so close to it, and it's Jerd that actually is the one with the score streaks. He's going to come in, try to take out Crimsix, who's in that spot. Clayster's able to take him out. And 129 to 103, 18 seconds left on the hard point. Epsilon trying to set up for that next one here. The middle one's like all but abandoned here, but Complexity has the favorable setup right now, just trying to hold on to it here at the bottom.
Yeah, and there you go. Complexity doing a great job. The war wasn't even on the middle hard point. It was back for the spawns. Yep. Both these teams realizing that that's a crucial play in this game. and that moment is going to be a big momentum shift. So now Complexity locking down this hard point. TP getting that lockdown for Complexity, and now you see Crimsix over in the cafe trying to pick up a big kill right there. Can't make it happen. Epsilon still, though, spawning across the map, so Complexity might get the full 60 right here unless Epsilon can really lock in. There you go. Finally, they get around. But look at what Complexity's doing right now. I don't know if you noticed this, but they might even die intentionally at this point just to try and move around the map. And here we go. There's still a lot of time here, but Complexity making the rotation. So is Epsilon. Epsilon getting a few more players to spawn out, and now Complexity finally charging their way all the way around the map.
Yeah, and it's these guys really appreciate one another as far as their skill set, that they start rotating, you know, like 35 seconds.
Do you see that? How they all just spawn garage? That's what Complexity does so well in Hardpoint. They just got the huge man advantage, and look at that perfect rotation.
Yeah, they're exactly where they need to be. They're going to go ahead and get Junkyard and then be able to close up garage, and this is a good spot for them. With the amount of points that they're capable of getting, they're able to win on these next 2 hard points. So Complexity knowing that, getting a good rotation. Here's going to come Jers, one of his Hellstorm. Comes in and only connects with TP. Great job by Crimsix to avoid it and keeping the spawn to make sure his team is spawning in on the right side there. Even though they did lose it, they still have the better spawn.
Yeah, but Epsilon all gets taken out, and they spawn across the map once more. I mean, Complexity is so smart at maintaining spawns, or actually obtaining spawns pretty early in a rotation, and they just executed that push through garage perfectly on Epsilon. I don't even think Epsilon know what hit him. And Krim now about to pull his streaks out, and let's see if he can actually get it. Yes, he does. Gets the lightning strike and the Hellstorm, and with these 2 back hard points, if they're able to rack up a lot of time here and they have those streaks available for the middle, I can't see Epsilon coming back.
Oh, Krim, you dirty man. Go ahead and put the knife in Swanee's back there, 201 to 137, and yeah, like I was talking about, they're gonna be able to end it on these 2 hard points with the way that they're set up. Crimsix gets taken out though as he drops in the lightning strike, but Aches has one as well. He's gonna let it rip, and there comes another lightning strike. Now he's gonna bring in. Gosh, everything's coming down.
Yeah, Krim just brought the
Hellstorm Krim brought in, and now the War Machine's out for Aches, and everybody. It's Complexity just unloading to close this one out.
Yeah, here comes the War Machine party.
2 War Machines, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game there for Epsilon, and Complexity managing to save face with their hardpoint game by coming back here. And it's actually not over yet.
It's not over yet,
but I can't see them. I don't know. You never know. Complexity really just blew through all their streaks pretty quickly there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. War Machines are out, everything. But Aches picks up a nice 3-piece. Swanee able to knock him out. Finally, Swanee's going to get the rest of the remaining time here on the garage, but Complexity going to be set up here in the middle to make the next move.
Yeah, Epsilon's on that middle one. Let's see here. This could get really interesting really fast. I mean, Complexity kind of just like.
Could you imagine, though? I mean, it was a 100-point lead in favor of Complexity if they were.
I was going to say something I probably shouldn't have said, but let's just put it this way. They exhausted all their resources.
Yeah, they did exhaust
quickly.
All their resources,
and but there you go. Complexity now on that hard point. I can't see them losing this now. So that's going to probably do it. Only 5 more points needed, and that's going to be it. Complexity. Going to be your number 1
crazy
seed.
Series, though, dude.
Coming out of Group B.
They had 60-some points in Game 1.
It was like 80-some points to 250. They got 100-point club.
Yeah, man. Bad.
You don't
want to be that guy.
That was just bad.
Yeah,
but
and then they were able to. They came back and won 3 straight games.
Absolutely.
That's the way you bounce back, baby.
Yep. Complexity, such a strong team. So there you have it. That's going to be another team punching their ticket into the championship bracket. Championship Sunday coming up tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss it. Complexity with the 1 seed coming out of Group B, and Epsilon with the 2 seed. We'll be having our randomization of the bracket.
What he said.
Live.
We'll see you tomorrow.